Hi everyone, it's Jessica here in my house. I welcome you to my evening gentle yoga session. Sorry, that's my dog barking. Feel free to pause this video at any time to modify a posture or take care of your body. If there's anything during the practice that you have questions about, please reach out to me and let me know what you need. For this practice, we'll just need a blanket today. I'm trying to keep props minimal to make it accessible for everybody. So if you have a blanket, great. If not, pause the video, go grab one, get into something comfy, and let's get started. We'll use this blanket underneath the hips to begin as we start in a seat. Just a comfortable cross-legged position. Feel your sit bones grounding down into your mat or your blanket. And place your hands in a place that feels supportive for you. So they could be resting on the legs, or they could be heart center, palms open, whatever feels good for you this evening. Join me in taking a deep breath in through the nose and letting it drop out through the mouth. 2 more. Inhale, grow taller. Exhale, grounding down. 1 more. Allow your breath to come back to its natural state. Begin to soften the space between the eyebrows, the jaw, the tongue. Allow the shoulders to melt away from the ears. The spiritual heart space gently softens as well, allowing it to open up. Let go of any clinging in the hips or any gripping sensation. Always welcome to pause the video to prop the hips up more so they can relax in this position. Continuing to allow the breath to stay natural. And as you move into a place of stillness, begin to observe the breath in its natural state, not trying to change it in any way, just being an observer. Observe how it flows through your body, how it morphs and moves different parts of the body. even the more subtle spaces. Observe the breath moving through the core of the throat, cool air coming in, warm air flowing out. And thoughts start to bring you away from your practice. Slowly bring the mind back to your observation of your natural breath. We'll bring the hands into this practice next as we place one hand over our heart and the other just in front of the navel. And we'll begin to build some depth into the breath. On our inhale, expand the belly. Then feel the chest lift as the lungs inflate at the top of your breath. On the exhale, feel the lungs sink and the navel move closer to the spine. Inhale to expand and lift. Exhale, sink, chest, belly comes in. Keep moving with your own flow of breath, building depth. And do one more wherever you are. And at the bottom of your breath, release the hands. And place them over the knees or gently on top of the legs. On an inhale, lift the chest, but still keep the abdomen up and in. So you're lifting up the lower abdominals as you lift the chest as well. Slightly lifting the chin. Still staying long in the back of the neck. And on our exhale, bring the navel into the spine. Heart moves in toward the body. Exhale. Good. Moving through this cat-cow on our seat. Inhale. Exhale, bring the energy in and up. And so you're really working on also letting the pelvis bring things in and tipping the pelvis forward on your inhale. Take one more cycle of this. And then when you're finished, come back to a neutral spine. Find your sit bones underneath you, grow tall, long through the crown of the head. And on another inhale, lift the hands up above you, lift the heart. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Again, inhale out and up. Exhale through center. One more, inhale. And this time we'll bring the right hand down. Left arm reaches up to come over. So the left sit bone should still be grounded as you reach towards the right. Being kind to yourself while we're opening up the spine, not striving for any extreme stretching or postures just yet. Send plenty of breath to open up through the rib cage. And use your core to bring you back to center as you inhale. Ground through the sit bones, reach through the arms, spiral them in, lift the heart. On your next exhale, lower the left hand, reach up through the right. Right sit bone grounding down with the left. Breathing plenty of space into the rib cage. Use your core to support the spine as you come back up. Exhale to the other side, reaching through the left hand. This time we'll walk it out in front, open up through the right. Continuing that flow, exhale to walk around. Inhale, open up, still keeping the sit bones grounded and the lower abdominals pulling up and in. Exhale. Inhale to reach. We'll do one more cycle. Listen to your breath. And if you're not moving at the same pace, that's quite all right. On our next exhale, we'll crawl to the center, pressing the sit bones down into the floor, slowly walking the hands forward, long through the crown, folding over the legs. You want to feel a stretch through the outer hip of the foot that's in front. So if the right foot is the furthest out, feel the stretch in the outer right hip. Pressing the sit bones down, reaching through the crown. And walk the hands back up. And we'll switch legs so that we can fold on the other side. Sitting nice and tall at first, making sure the sit bones are grounding down, pulling up through the lower abdominals, and then walking forward over the feet, long through the crown. Use your inhale to feel everything grow longer Exhale to see if there's space to fold deeper. All right, walk it back up on your time. And if you like some extra cushion under the knees, we're going to move into tabletop. So you can keep your blanket on the mat. Again, feel free to pause this video at any time if you need to go grab something, whether it be another blanket or some water, or create some modifications that you need. Moving into tabletop, creating a strong foundation by keeping the belly button or the navel close to the spine so that the low back can expand long in the back of the neck. Fingers and knuckles ground into the mat, spiraling the elbows in toward the midline. On your next inhale, expand the right leg back, coming onto the ball of the foot, still feeling equal weight in both hands. Pelvis stays parallel with the floor, so you're not dropping or lifting anything. Everything is equal. Ignite the belly. On your next inhale, reach the left arm out. If you feel stable, lift the right foot up. Reaching for the fingertips, pressing out through the right heel. Balance here. Keep working everything up and in. Exhale to bring your elbow to the knee. Inhale, expand once again. Exhale, elbow to knee. Inhale, we'll do one more. Exhale to bring it in. Back to tabletop. Press the hips back. We'll take a brief child's pose. Child's pose is always a really nice time to rock the forehead back and forth. I can't do it because I wear glasses, but it's a nice little massage for the forehead, and you can do that anytime. So from child's pose, we'll press back up into tabletop and move on to the left leg. Create your strong foundation. Shoulder blades are broad, navel up and in. Extend the left leg, ball of the foot on the floor. Even the hips, even the pressure in the hands. When you feel stable, raise the right arm, lift the left foot. Pressing through the heel. Energy shoots out through the right fingertips. And lift everything up, up, up and in. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale to reach and press through the heel. Active feet. Exhale, knee to elbow. Two more. Inhale. Exhale. One more. And we'll come back to neutral here. And this time tuck both feet under so the balls of the feet press into the floor. Bring the lower abdominals up and in once again, and on your next inhale, lift the knees just an inch or two off the floor, just to float them there. And feel all the muscles in your body ignite as you're trying to stabilize and balance. Take one more inhale here, and on your next exhale, raise the hips up and come back into your down dog. And since tabletop is kind of a narrow place to come into a down dog for some, you could step back a little to create a wider or longer down dog. Now is also a great time to remove your blanket and feel into your first down dog by pedaling out the feet. In our down dog, we want to grow the shoulders away from the ears so the crown of the head reaches towards the front fingertips. Spiral the elbows in towards the midline of your body. That's the long channel of energy that separates right and left. So bringing them in. Soften the joints. And begin to tiptoe forward. Bending at the knees generously and coming into your first forward fold. And find a place of ease in your forward fold. If that means bending the knees so that the stomach and spine can feel supported, find your space there. If you need to bring something, especially if you're tall, something to bring the floor closer to your hands, you could grab a set of blocks if you have them. Find your ease here. On your next inhale, come into a halfway lift, feeling similar sensations of bringing the navel into the spine, lengthening the low back, and bringing the crown of the head forward. An exhale will bring you back down into your forward fold. Inhale once again, halfway lift. We'll take a full breath here. And then exhale, fold last time. Inhale, halfway lift. Bend the hips generously, reach the arms out and up. Coming into an extended Tadasana. Exhale, hands to heart center. Close the eyes for a moment. Notice any electricity you can feel in the body, any tingling. Maybe you can feel your heart pumping a little faster. Or rushes of energy flying around the muscles and bones. From our Tahdahh, we'll feel into the feet at first, rocking back and forth between the toes and the heels, grounding through the feet. Soften the joints, so stay buoyant in the knees. Hips come under the heart, head comes over the heart. On your next inhale, reach tall. Keep the hands lifted as you step back, coming into a gentle Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. So the knee here is stacked over the ankle. It doesn't matter how deeply you can get into your Warrior 1. Back right foot is about at 1 o'clock, so the big toes pointing towards the front corner of the mat. Again, all the lower abdominals come up and in, lengthening the low back, and then aiming to bring the right hip closer to the left. Open heart. Good. On an inhale, lengthen the front leg. Bring the arms down and slightly behind the body so that the shoulders and heart are opening up. On an exhale, come back into your warrior one, and we'll move through this in a flow. Inhale to straighten, open through the heart. Bring the lower abdominals up and in. Exhale, warrior one. 2 more times. Inhale. Exhale, warrior one. Inhale, straighten. Bring the energy up through the feet, out through the crown. Exhale, warrior one. This time on your inhale, straighten the front leg, and if you like, interlace the fingers behind you to keep the heart open, or just bring the hands to the hips. Your choice. Keep the heart open as you lead with the heart, leaning forward, coming into head to knee, folding over the front leg. Keep both joints slightly bent so none of them are locking out. Hug the muscles to the bones. Find your breath here. And then inhale, rise up. Exhale, warrior one. And on an inhale, walk the back foot a little wider so that you can come into your warrior two. But instead of warrior two arms, I'd like you to bring your hands to heart center and look straight ahead of you instead of gazing over the front hands where they would be. And guide your heart over the pelvis so you're not reaching forward or leaning forward, but you're centered over the pelvis. Keep the hands at heart center. Knee over ankle. On an inhale, straighten the front leg, open through the chest. Exhale, hands to heart center, warrior two. Good. Inhale, rise up, open up. Exhale, warrior two, hands to heart center. 2 more. Inhale, exhale. Still keeping the lower abdominals pulling up. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, straighten. And this time we will reach forward, hips pivot back, finding your way into your Trikonasana. Now, this is not accessible because you can't feel supported in the spine. You can come halfway up and place the hands on the hips. This is a fine place to be for Trikonasana. But if you feel the space in the side body and the support in the spine, you can bring the hand on the inside of the calf. Do avoid putting any pressure on the knee. And fingertips reach from floor to sky. Either keeping your gaze forward or maybe lifting it up at the fingertips. On your next inhale, come all the way up follow the feet. You could walk them in if you want to a little bit. And we'll find our way into our forward fold. Inhale to open through the heart. Exhale, tilting with the pelvis, allowing the heart to lead you forward. Soft bend in the knees. Forward fold. And again, for some of you, this may not be accessible, so you're welcome to pause the video and come onto your back. And if you have space, you could even do legs up the wall for a forward fold, just like this. Or you could do it on your back, using the pull of your calves to bring your torso closer. That's always another option. If you're standing in your wide-legged forward fold, stay there for another few breaths. If you feel like you could go deeper into this, you could even plant the crown of the head on the floor and experiment with rocking the weight into the crown of the head. On your next inhale, come into a halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale again, halfway lift. Stay there as hands come to hips. Take another inhale to come all the way up. And from here, we'll just point the front foot to come forward and walk it up back into your Tadasana. We'll keep it simple today. You can have your hands heart center or release them into traditional mountain pose. And take a moment here to notice the difference between the left and the right sides of the body. Take notice of any sensations that you feel on either side. Softly open the eyes and then we'll move on to the left side. We'll inhale, arms come out and up. Keep the arms lifted as you lift the left foot. Come back into your Virabhadrasana 1. Warrior 1. Knee over ankle. Left big toes point towards the left corner of the mat. And aiming the hips to become even and under the heart. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Exhale, warrior 1. Inhale, straighten, float the arms down and behind you. Exhale, warrior 1. 2 more. Inhale to straighten. Lift the heart. Exhale, warrior 1. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, warrior 1. Inhale, straighten, clasp the opposite or uncomfortable clasp that you didn't take before, or bring hands to hips as you lead with the heart, folding over the front knee. Soft in both knees, being sure not to lock either of them out. Releasing the head and neck. And if you're clasping the hands behind you, you could keep them close to the sacrum or lift them up and over the head for an extra shoulder opening. On your next inhale, come all the way up into your warrior one, bending the front knee. And walk the back foot open. So the back foot is parallel with the back of the mat. And then bringing the hands to heart center. Heart over hips, head over heart. Inhale, straighten the front legs, open the arms, open the heart. Exhale, warrior two, hands Anjali. Inhale, expand and lift. Exhale, hands to heart center. Two more. On this next one, inhale, straighten the front leg and pivot the hips back. Keep both of the sides of the body long as you reach forward, coming into your Trikonasana. Soften the joints, hug the muscles of the bones. And being sure that the lower abdominals are pulling up, 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 supporting that spine. Always option to come halfway for Trikonasana. Inhale, come all the way up, parallel the feet so that you're in a wide-legged stance. Hands can come to the hips or again interlace behind, opening the heart, letting the heart lead you into your wide-legged forward folds. On your next inhale, come to a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale again, halfway lift. Plant the right hand right underneath the heart center. Open up through the left. Either reaching the hand upward or placing it on the sacrum to even the sacrum out. Spinal twist. And exhale brings you back to center. Left hand replaces the right. Inhale, open up through the right. Center the sacrum. Reach long through the crown. And exhale brings you back to center. Heel toe the feet so that they're a little wider than the hips. I have mine about 2 feet apart, but it's different for everybody. Slowly bend the knees. Toes are wider than the heels. Bending the knees, coming into a Malasana. Hands come to heart center. reach that energy up, up, up and in to support the spine. Still hugging the muscles to the leg bones to support you in your malasana. Always welcome to pause the video and create any modification. If this is not feeling good for you, by all means, pause it and add a block underneath your seat for support. Or find this pose on your back. We'll be here for another breath or two. And then when you've had enough, you can bring your hands behind you to support you as you come into the seat. Let's extend both legs and just give them a little jiggle. They did a lot of work today. Good. You can even use your hands just to massage out the calves and the ankle muscles. Loosen everything back up. When you're finished, bring the feet together, coming into Baddha Konasana. Here's where your blanket can come back into the scene by lifting the hips up and creating a little more ease in your seated postures. You want to feel the sensation of the pelvis rocking slightly forward and those sit bones grounding right underneath you. And sit tall here for a moment. Find the length through the crown. Extend the right leg, and for now keep the pelvis even. So it's parallel with the front or side of your mat, wherever you are on your mat. The right foot stays nice and bright and activated as we inhale to lengthen, either reaching through the arms or hands come to hips. Exhale to begin folding. Still lead with the heart. And to make this forward fold more accessible, you could always bend gently in the knee to support your torso as you release the head and neck. Still nice and active in the feet. And walk yourself back up into a seat. And we'll keep the right leg extended, but open up through the left hip. So the body is now facing diagonal, and the hips are opened up a little bit. We'll move into a lateral fold. So the right palm comes to the floor or the calf, but never directly on the knee. Inhale to reach the left arm up and over, stretching over to reach towards the right toes, opening up through the side body. Gaze can stay forward, or if you like, lifting the gaze up towards the crease of the elbow. Sit bones ground down. Each exhale opening you up, softening the muscles. On an inhale, walk yourself back up. Come back into your cobbler's pose. Sit bones grounding underneath you, lifting tall, taking a moment to feel again the difference between the right and left side of the body. Extend the left leg this time, keeping the hips parallel at first. Both sit bones grounding down equally. Inhale, lift tall. Exhale, either extend the arms or hands to hips as you fold forward. Left foot staying nice and active and flexed. Finally, releasing the head and neck if you feel supported. Walk the fingertips up to a seat. Open up through the right hip, coming diagonal with your torso. Find the sit bones grounding down evenly once again. Placing the left palm to face up, reaching the right arm up and over. Opening up through the side body. And if you like, lifting your gaze past the right elbow crease. An inhale brings you up. Use the core to support the spine. And this time we'll bring both feet, extending them long. Again, tipping the pelvis forward, hips grounding down. And then keeping that feeling of the core supporting the spine, as you plant both feet on the floor, I'm going to shift this way for you. If you have a blanket, move it aside for the time being. If you like one during your Shavasana, just leave it within arm's reach. So you might put it up where your head will be once we're laying down. The feet plant down. Still keeping that sensation of the sit bones underneath you. Lower abdominals pulling up and in. Exhale, lean back, come halfway down. Inhale, come up a couple inches. Exhale, come down a little more. Engage the abs. Inhale up. And this time, allow the spine to roll onto the floor, using your hands as support if you like, all the way down. And hands come alongside the body, feet plant down, pressing all the vertebrae into the mat. On your next inhale, lift the hips up into a bridge. You don't have to come all the way up, but come up enough for you to feel that engagement in the front of the hips. And on an exhale, shift the hips a little bit to the left to set them down just an inch or two. So you're a little off center when the hips come back down to the floor. Find a position for your hands for supine twist. So I'm going to put mine out to the side. Exhale, bring the knees across the right side of the mat. knees coming onto the right side. Gaze can fall over the left side, or maybe closing your eyes if that feels good. Supine twist. If you're laying here and you're finding that this is too much on the low back, you could bring your blanket between your knees, and that will ease some of the twisting in the low back. So that's always an option. And then light the core and allow your core to bring you back to center. Remove the blanket if you have one for just a second. Find the spine grounding into the mat. Inhale, lift it back up, coming into bridge. Strong through the front of the hips. On your next exhale, shift the hips an inch or two to the right, set them down. Good. Find your position for your arms, knees, drop to the left. Always an option for a blanket to ease the low back twist. And then inhale, remove the blanket. Use your core to bring you back to center. And just lift the hips so that you become centered on your mat once again. Bring the knees in towards the chest. Give yourself a giant hug. And then exhale, full body stretch out through the toes, out through the fingertips. Finding any inch in your body that could expand even longer. My voice cracked. And then when you're ready to release, find your way into your Shavasana. If you like a blanket over your feet, or maybe even just over the hips, you don't have to cover yourself. But I find a blanket over the hips to be very grounding during my final rest. As you find your way to your Shavasana, allow the feet to fall out. Allow the shoulders to fall away from the ears. Hands come to a supported place. If you feel like you need a cleansing breath, take as many as you need. Otherwise, listening and observe your breath as it begins to smooth out. Coming back to that place where we soften through the facial muscles. Soften through the tongue and the core of the throat. Allow the shoulders to melt closer to the floor. Everything lets go of clinging. Everything releases. You can stay here for as long as you please, taking the rest that you need, and tending to your body and your breath. I'll leave you in your Shavasana. It's been an honor to practice with you this evening. May you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you be at peace. Namaste.